City of Middleton recently held a panel discussion about the causes, impacts, and solutions to Dane County's housing crisis. And we know the issue impacts communities all across our area. Here now to share the takeaways from that community meeting are two of the panelists, the Families in Transition Coordinator for the Middleton Cross Plains Area School District, Amy Poole, and Leslie Albrecht-Huber, who is the Senior Development Director and Community Engagement with Way Forward Resources. Thank you both so much for being here. First, I want to talk about a data point, Amy. Specifically in the Middleton district, you now have a comparison year to year.
I do. Yeah, so already this year compared to last year, our numbers are almost doubled already for the number of students identified as experiencing homelessness.
Doubled.
Yes.
In a big district, so it's a big number, I'm sure, in terms of what you're looking for. Yeah. What are both of your short and long-term concerns when you hear year over year almost a doubling?
I think for me, it's just the human aspect of it, right? Like, we have a higher number of families that are unhoused, meaning they're living on the street, in their car, or in a tent. So seeing that already this year is really troubling and concerning. But then it looks at, how are these students getting to school? Where are they feeling safe? How are they being fed? What does that look like? And then how are they supposed to actually get an education if they have all of that going on at home? So for me, that's the biggest impact.
We worry about how these families will be able to get the services that they need. With such high increases, local nonprofits are finding their resources running thin. We often say rent eats first, and so this is affecting other resources too, as families are having to put those last dollars in their budget toward paying rent that they didn't have to in the past. That means they don't have money left over for food. This is driving the huge increase in food pantries. It means they don't have money left over for childcare, for transportation. So it's really affecting all aspects of their lives. In the long term, we're concerned because the solution is a long-term solution. And so we hope that the community continues to focus on that, but we have to get from here to there first.
So let's talk about some of the solutions that came up that you would want our broader audience to know.
I think that two of the things that stuck with me during this conversation was that, first of all, we need to build more housing in Dane County. And I think we all know that, and we're working on that. With the amount of people we've had coming into the county, housing growth hasn't kept up with that. But we also need to support people who are in housing. And so supporting organizations that help them have the resources they need to stay stably housed is also really important right now.
Yeah, I think a lot about one of the comments that was all housing is good housing, right? So there's the low-income housing, but then there's also high-end housing, which is also really hard to come by right now. And so making sure that we are open to those housing prospects is really important. And then I think you hit it on the head with having that case management and that support within the community to help people find housing, because that's a piece that's really hard to navigate, and there's so many different nuances to the whole process.
I think we could do a whole half-hour special on this because we're just scratching the surface, but I hope that this conversation at least pings for some of our viewers to maybe get involved in some way as well. So Amy, Leslie, thank you, and thanks for the work you're doing to help families.
Thanks for having us.